The arrival of autumn has always felt to me a bit like stepping backwards in time. I don't know if it's the gradual waning of the sunlight, the slow shedding of autumn leaves, the nostalgia of the looming holiday season, or some combination thereof. Perhaps it's just the marked contrast between the seasons. Spring and summer occupy the space of growth, birth, and progression. New beginnings, fresh things. Autumn is the slow unwinding of things. Driven inside by the first chill and the encroaching darkness, autumn seems to trigger a new level of introspection. In me, at least. Many aspects of the past are best left there. But there is a certain comfort in the constancy of things and the predictable patterns and seasons of life. I don't know what the future will bring, but I do know that October will still bear the same fruits as it has for centuries. Pumpkins and other colorful gourds. Pomegranates, ripe with ruby seeds. But as with painting, the seeming unwinding of time during the fall is just a carefully crafted illusion. Time does not run backward. At least, not for very long. I started the month of October with big plans and lots of ambition. I began work painting, filming, and drawing for 2 separate videos, and I made some really good progress. Hopefully you'll see those here coming up in the future. Where I live, pomegranates are in season in October. And each year the single backyard pomegranate tree yields a small bumper crop of pomegranates. From my casual internet research, I found that a single mature plant can yield up to 250 fruits, or roughly 75 pounds. I'm not sure exactly how many pomegranates my tree produces. I've never counted. But it is a lot of pomegranates. I usually end up processing the seeds into pomegranate jelly. And the entire process ended up dominating most of the month of October. The first step is to extract the seeds. If you have ever seeded a pomegranate before, you probably know it's a very messy process, and seeding hundreds of pomegranates manually is nothing short of insanity. The best way I have found to cut a pomegranate without making a huge mess starts with cutting off the crown. I then score the rind carefully, not to nick the seeds. And then a quick twist of the knife at the top opens the pomegranate. If you do it correctly, most of the seeds should remain intact. The messy part is actually removing the seeds from the rind. Over the years, I have discovered that seeding hundreds of pomegranates is an incredible waste of time and energy, and it is super messy even if you do it right. But if you insist on embarking on such insanity yourself, I recommend working outdoors and wearing food-grade gloves, because seeding hundreds of pomegranates will stain your hands for days. Originally, I started out with a recipe I found online, but over the years, after many alterations and tweaks to the recipe, it has become uniquely my own. Standing over a massive pot of boiling liquid in the month of October has always made me feel a bit like a witch before her bubbling cauldron, brewing up some potion or spell. A good one, of course. The recipe itself is pretty basic, like most jams and jellies. Pomegranate juice, lemon juice, pectin. I like to use the pectin in the pink box so that I can use a little bit less sugar. And speaking of, lots of sugar. Even if you are using the pink box, it takes a lot of sugar to make jelly and jam. For my purposes, I use a ratio of 6 cups of juice to 8 cups of sugar. From experience, I can usually tell when a jelly is going to set properly. When you remove the spoon from the cooked jelly, usually it has already started to gel up on the spoon and won't drop off. I use the water bath canning method to preserve the cooked jelly. And after processing according to my elevation, these should be good for up to 18 months. As you might imagine, when I am through with this insanity, I have absolutely no energy left for anything else. Least of all painting, filming, or YouTubing. I had other things I wanted to accomplish in October, but instead I ended up taking a slower pace. Later on in the month, my sister-in-law sent me a Cricut, which I'm pretty excited about. I haven't received the materials for it yet, but I did take it out of the box and play around with some cardstock I had laying around. And these little snowflakes were cut with some free designs available from Cricut. And I also cut out these cute little silhouettes of Maggie. This is one of my own designs that I actually created in Inkscape a while ago. So I just did a basic cut of the outline. I'm thinking that a fun first project would be to design and cut some tags for the jelly I just made, for gifting or whatever. Summer is easily my least favorite season, and I'm glad it's over. Lately, under a choking haze of wildfire smoke, it's become virtually unbearable. At the end of October, the rain I wished for so fervently over the long, parched summer finally arrived. Coming from an arid climate, I've always really enjoyed the rain. To me, it was never a disappointment to be chased away from the playground by an approaching storm. I remember spending long hours as a child just listening to the gentle rhythm of rain on the window and watching the water droplets trail down the glass like teardrops. with a fascination that rivaled the pull of my favorite books and movies. In retrospect, it makes sense to me that I took such enjoyment in something that other children might have found painfully dull and kind of odd. The creation of art, and realistic art in particular, is rooted in patient observation. It can take hours of careful observation to discover all the nuances of color and light in an object or subject, and to then reproduce those colors. So having this type of personality is particularly beneficial. I was so excited about the rain, I ended up making a few little rain studies. Lately I'm using acrylic gouache and just inexpensive watercolor paper. I've really been enjoying this gouache a lot. In fact, I haven't even touched my regular acrylics since I got these. I really love the matte finish. It is so beautiful. And the funny thing is that before I got into gouache, I didn't think I really cared about the finish and whether it was matte or glossy. But now I can see why everyone is so into this matte finish. It really is beautiful. And here are the finished studies. I really love the colors of this one. The rusty reds, golden yellows, burnt oranges, contrasted with the cool blue-gray of the sky. I think that autumn really is such a beautiful season, and I'm enjoying it so much. And I hope you're having a beautiful autumn too. If so, let me know in the comments what you've been up to this season. Is autumn your favorite or some other season? I'd love to hear about it. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!